No matter where we are in our lives, be it at the heights of achievement or just setting out on our journey, we've all had that moment where we wondered, what is my purpose?
OMG! That is where Becoming You comes in. It is a step-by-step guidebook helping you to craft your authentic life and career.
Best-selling author Suzy Welch joins us now to break it all down. Thanks so much for being here.
I'm delighted. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so here's what grabbed my attention first and foremost. Happiness isn't a goal to chase. Forget your passion. Stop thinking about fun. That sounds horrible.
I know, right?
I'm a mean person. No, I think, look, people have been chase happiness. There's sort of a happiness industrial complex. Go find your happiness, follow your bliss. And I'm just a less woo-woo person than that. I'm a professor, I'm an academic, I'm a researcher, and I have a methodology to help you get from, you know, what is my life? What am I meant to do? Actually, to get there. Because my students were wondering, what should we do with our lives? And I don't want to tell them, go chase your passion. I don't want their parents to hate me. I want them to actually get to a job that fulfills them and pays them.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's hard.
So I like your, let's clear out the woo-woo and let's get down to the business. And you say there are values that you're supposed to be following.
So I think there's three things you've got to find. One is your values, one is your aptitudes, and one of your economically viable interests. Those last two are easier, what you're interested in and what your aptitudes are, what you're good at. Values are hard. Almost no one knows their values. They're kind of vague. I'm not going to ask you what are your values, but you'd probably say something around family and financial security. But there are 15 values, and we need to know where we stand on each one. And once we get that, we can pick our career and find our purpose much more easily. But that's important. It's very hard to know that.
Well, especially as a young person, I don't think they're going to come up with 15 values. So that's why you've got the values bridge.
Yes,
right?
there's a test. I created a test at the University of Bristol in England that actually helps you evaluate your values. It ranks them for you, and it also tells you how much you're living them. Because you can have a value and not be living it, and you know that.
Oh,
that's
wow.
interesting.
Okay, well, that's a great place to start because I know that when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I did like the Myers-Briggs vocational inventory. It gave you a little bit of a direction, and this is going to push you even further that way.
Those are great tests. I don't want to, some of these tests have been around for a long time because they're very good. I had felt there was not a test that really helped you pinpoint your values, what galvanizes your actions and your decisions in any kind of specificity. Like there's a lot of big, vague ones, but you really have to know those things. Like, do you want a big life or a small life? Do you care how things look or not care how things look? I mean, these are all values that we don't talk about. How famous do you want to be? It's not, right? That's a big one, right? So it's not just money and family. That's where people generally go, but you've really got to get down into the details. How much impact do you want to have on the world? Do you want to be a world changer, or are you happy just to be a family changer? These are all details that are very important.
Well, and I also think things kind of happen in reverse, right? You might gravitate towards something, and then because you're good at it, then you start to love it.
Or you may gravitate towards something because society tells you you should, or your parents tell you you should, or everyone else is going there. I mean, there's some kind of conveyor belts that people get onto, and then 20 years later, I mean, I get DMs from these people all the time, and then 20 years later, they're like, but I never really liked hospitality. Okay, but I had a roommate whose father had a job in that area, and oops, there I find 25 years later, I've been in a field I didn't really like, and I don't really like anything about what it does. That's what we're trying to avoid with Becoming You methodology. We're trying to avoid you getting on a conveyor belt, but instead having a life of design, something more that you have created yourself that matches you.
Now, one of the things I remember hearing a lot is get out there, network, meet people, and you say you hate that.
I hate networking. I hate it. I hate it. Do you like networking?
No, not really.
Everyone hates it for a reason.
Right.
It's mercenary. Nobody ever says, "Oh, I got to the top because I networked." You get to the top for what reason? Friends.
Right.
So what I tell my students is stop networking. It's mercenary. Everyone hates it. You're not going to get a job handing a card to somebody in a hotel, gigantic hotel room that's freezing and so forth. Make as many friends and don't expect anything from them, and that's how life actually works.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be
100%.
20 years, but it's friends, being an authentic person.
I know a lot of people also say, do you want to work to live or live to work?
Yes, well, that's a value, by the way. So, I mean, it's like for some people, I want to work because I just love work. I happen to have that trait myself. We call it high work centrism. I just like waking up in the morning and thinking about work. But I have plenty of people who I know. In fact, some of my 4 children have very low, yes, by the way, have very low work centrism. They actually work to live. They want their families come first, or their recreation, or their hobbies, Dungeons and Dragons, whatever, come first. And work is not the central value of their life. But you've got to find that out about yourself. Not one is not right. and one is not wrong. That is not the way it goes. I'm a total values agnostic. You came by your values. If you're not hurting anybody, have your values. Let's use a language so we're not picking on each other.
Okay, so you're an NYU professor.
Yes.
People stand in line, get on wait lists to try to get into your class. Which came first, the class or the book?
Oh, without a doubt. The class came first. I was teaching the class.
These are things you learned.
I mean, I was teaching the class for a couple of years, and students would say to me, I really want my brother to take this. I want my mother to go through this process. And I was like, that's still, well, too bad they can't come to NYU. I teach at the business school at Stern. And this went on for a while, and then I kind of heard this drumbeat. And one day, my daughter, who's 30, said to me, I think Mommy actually kind of want to write the book, because I have friends who want to go through this. They're hearing about it, and you need to help people.
Well, and the classes, too, you think you're usually younger, probably people, but anybody at any point in their life can kind of jump on this train.
Exactly. I mean, in fact, I teach it in open enrollment in NYU, and most of the students are in their 40s and 50s.
Oh,
yes, because, you can go through your whole life, and then your kids leave, or some other change happens, or your industry disappears, which happens these days. Poof, poof, it just vanishes. And you're in your 40s or your 50s. I've even taught it to people up to 68, and they say, wait, what is next? Who am I?
Right.
I mean, that's a question that you never kind of answer all the way. Who am I? What are my values? What are my aptitudes? What am I really interested in now in this day and age? And so I've taught it to everybody. The youngest students, 16, oldest students, 68.
Wow. Now, you teach at the business school, but do these principles apply in any industry?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I teach it to the MBAs, but when I'm teaching in open enrollment, I have people who are actors and plumbers, and I mean, from every walk of life. But I think it's a great question. I mean, I think that business schools where people tend to think about careers in a very kind of very deliberate way.
Right.
And I think I learned a lot, and I still learn a lot teaching at Stern, where my business school students really ask me hard questions and open up my thinking. But the whole point of the third part of the book is to help you to think about careers off the beaten path in industries that are growing that you wouldn't normally think of, not just business at all.
All right. Well, you leave that copy right there for me. You can sign it. Yeah, you got another one, because we can both use that. We're at a point where we're like,
I need a direction.
Suzy, thank you so much. A great conversation. I can only imagine what it's like to sit in your lecture. It's probably exciting and fun. Thank you so much. For more information, visit SuzyWelch.com.